Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on when and where you are watching this. Probably watching this before the Italy and England match to see some of my predictions. But today, instead of a post match analysis and instead of player analysis, I'm actually going to do a pre match analysis or prediction. I'm going to do a pre match selection of the team, what I think the formation will be, probably depending on how many games they played in the past, and the players that will be the starting lineup for both Italy and England. So, with that, let's kick it off with Italy. Italy, there's a couple of players that are missing. We'll talk about that. But we'll see here in the transfer market, we have the squad that is registered for the qualifiers for Italy. We have goalkeeping Donnarumma, Merete, Carnesci, Falconi. And in the central back or the defender players, we will have Sclavini, we'll have Ramagonoli, we'll have Toloi, we'll have Buongiorno, we'll have Acerbi, we'll have Bonucci, and we'll have also Spinzola and Emerson, Di Lorenzo, and Darmian. All these are uh, defensive players. The last four I mentioned, Spinzola, Emerson, Di Lorenzo, Darmian, these four are actually um, left back or right backs. In the midfield, we're going to have Tonali, Jorginho, Cristante, Barella, Verratti, Fratezzi, Pelargini, Pessina, Pafundi, Gnotto, Gnotto. I think these are going to be our midfielders and attacking midfielders. And then in the attack, we're going to have Gnotto, Grifo, Politano, Berardi, Scamesca. Uh, his name is very hard to pronounce. Scamecca and Retigo. These will be the six players that can play in the front or the final third. It's very interesting that he's picked 19-year-old and a 17-year-old. This guy plays in Leeds, which is interesting that he picked him. And I think it's also interesting that he picked this guy here, the 23-year-old who plays in Argentina in Club Atlético Tigre. These were the interesting thing I saw. The only thing I did not see was Chiesa. I did not see Chiesa, Raspadori, Immobile, and Insigne, Leonardo Insigne or Lorenzo Insigne. This guy here, Lorenzo Insigne, and I did not see also. If we look at the lineup here that won the Euro, I did not see Immobile and I did not see Chiesa. And if we go in the substitutes, I think he had registered um, what's his name? Actually, no, he does not. He has not registered the guy. Um, Raspadori. But these are the three players I don't see. Obviously, I don't see Andrea Belotti, and I don't see Bastoni, Alessandro Bastoni, and Florenzi. Not sure why as well. I mean, they're very interesting players. I mean, they're 32, 33. Not too old, not too young. But these were the players I did not see. And it looks like Federico Chiesa and Federico Dimarco were withdrawn because of injury of some sorts. So then he had to pick two people that would replace these two. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to have seen Chiesa play and Dimarco, but oh well, this is what happens. So this is like the squad that has been registered. So let us take a look at, some of the past games and the formations they've used. So these were all in competitive games except for one. It's going to be a friendly, and we'll talk about that. But these were all in the qualifiers or the UEFA Nations League. You see here they playing against Germany. They tied 1-1. They played 4-3-3 against Germany's 4-2-3-1. And here they played against Hungary in a 4-3-3 as well, while Hungary was playing 3-4-2-1. Here against England, the match that they tied, they played 4-3-3, while England played 4-2-3-1, which is interesting because they are going to play each other. Maybe England will use 4-2-3-1. I've seen them play with this formation a lot. Here against Germany again, and they've lost. They played 4-3-3 against, again, the 4-2-3-1. And then here, this is in, I believe, the Nations League still, the UEFA Nations League. Against England, they beat England this time with a 3-5-2 against England's 3-4-3. And here they played against Hungary again, second game. They played with 3-5-2 again, and they beat them 2-0. Here, this is Austria's match, and I believe this match is a friendly match. They lost from Austria, but they were playing 3-4-3. And the only reason why I want to know that this is a friendly match is because, in my opinion, friendly matches are there to just try player out, maybe win some points in the FIFA ranking, and that's it. You don't actually win a medal or anything. You don't win a title or anything, right? It's just you participate in a friendly match to get your players ready to play with one another. Um, it will be a different mindset than playing like a qualification match or playing in the UEFA Nations League. So that's why I just wanted to mention that it's a friendly and Italy lost. It could be that they did not care about the match. It could be that they played very poorly. In my opinion, again, friendly matches, I don't like friendly matches, to be honest. But these were the couple of formations that Italy has played with. So let me see here if I can show you the formations I think that probably Italy will use and the players they will put in. The first thing I'm predicting would probably be if they will probably play a 4-3-3. They've played against England with a 4-3-3 and they beat them with that. They played against England with a different formation, I think 3-5-2, and they also beat them with that. So I think here Italy might play a 4-3-3. They will have obviously Donnarumma in goalkeeping. They will have Di Lorenzo as a right back. They would have either Bonucci or Achibre as center defender. I'm gonna say Bonucci. That's why I put his name first. I'm going with maybe Bonucci as the one that's gonna play instead of Acerbi. And Bongiorno will probably play on the left side in the defense, and then Spinzola will probably be the left back. Out of the few left backs that were selected for Italy, he looks like the one that's more sharp. In the midfield, I believe we will have Jorginho, Pellegrini, and Barella. Yes, some people might say, where's Verratti? I think probably maybe Verratti might replace Jorginho or one of these guys, but I think he might start with these guys first. That's my opinion. That's my thought. And in the attack, we will have our right winger, Berardi, and we'll have our left winger, which uh, is a stretch here, Scamacca. I think Scamacca might be better in this central forward position, but I have not seen this guy play as a left wing. So I think he will have him as a center forward and Skamika will cut in as a shadow striker or an inverted winger actually. So he doesn't play on the touching the line, but he actually cuts in and maybe shoots from this area here. I've seen him play with West Ham in this particular position as an inverted winger where he goes inside. But Berardi, obviously, he's a natural here. He's a natural here. But I think with the attacking that we have, probably he'll put Bernardi here. So that's one formation. The other formation that if they're gonna use will be a 3-5-2, like I mentioned, which they played against England and they beat them. And then 3-5-2 it will be a little bit different. I would say Every the defenders will stay the same plus the goalkeeper, except we won't have Spanzella and the Di Lorenzo. We will just have Cerbi, Bonucci, and Bonicio and Bongiorno. In the midfield, we're going to have a couple of players here. Now we're going to see Verratti. I think Verratti will be an important player here, who's going to be probably more defensive than attacking. We'll see Jorginho, Pellegrini, Berardi again here, Barella again here, and the forward stays the same. But you see here, Scamecca will be a shadow striker. And I think Jorginho, Pellegrini will be box to box, maybe midfielders. Verratti will be more on the defensive side, and these guys will be automatically running up and down in the wings. This is if they, this is my hypothesis, if they play a 3-5-2. Let's take a look at the other one. The other one here, this one will be a 3-4-3. They also played the 3-4-3 against England, by the way, or a 4-4-3-3. But here, the defense will be the same plus the goalkeeper, in my opinion. The midfield will kind of change, in my opinion. The midfield, we will change Pellegrini and we'll have him as a right midfielder. Barella will remain as a left midfielder. Jorginho will be central, and we will have Cristante instead of Verratti in here. And in the attack, it will be the same trio that I mentioned before, where you see Scamecca maybe cutting in as an inverted winger, and Berardi maybe sometimes cutting in as an inverted mid winger to do the shots from here. So this will be what I think maybe if they play a 3-4-3, they would choose. If we take a look at the last one here, this was something I'm thinking of. Maybe with the couple of players that we have on the roster and in the lineup, I'm thinking maybe they can actually play a 4-1-2-1-2, right? Where the defense will be the same defense that we mentioned from the first formation, right? Spinzola and Di Lorenzo will return. In the midfield here, we'll have Jorginho, Barella, Pellegrini, and Verratti, and then the two central forwards, Scamecca and Retigo. I think this will be an interesting formation, in my opinion. You'll have an interesting battle here. It depends on how England will play. If England puts more players in the midfield or on the wingers, maybe they will have a lot of space to run around. Um, but yeah, looking at the players, this will be an interesting formation to see. Um, and it also will be a surprise to see it because so far they have not played this. Italy plays 4-4-2 maybe, and 4-3-3, 3-4-3, and 3-5-2. They haven't played a 4-1-2-1-2. Maybe they played it when they used to have Perlo and Gattuso and these guys. But I haven't seen them play this formation, to be honest. But it was something interesting. If they would pull it off, I mean, I would be happy to see it. I like this formation also. So that is Italy. So let's go back to transfer market here and take a look at England, right? England, we're gonna see that they will have Aaron Ramsdale, Pickford, Foster. They will have this guy Mark Juhe, Stones, McGuire, Dyer, Chilwell, Shaw, James, Walker, Trippier, Rice. They'll have Calvin Phillips, Bellingham, Gallagher, Henderson, Madison, Foden, Grealish, Saka, Kane, and finally Tony. We don't see a couple of players. We don't see Raheem Sterling. We don't see Mason Mount. We don't see Pope. We do not see the guys from Aston Villa actually. What's his name? Watkins and Mings. We don't see these couple of players that I've just mentioned. There is some news that Rashford picked up an injury, Nick Pope picked up an injury, Mason Mount picked up an injury, so they had to replace them, and that's probably where he got Tony. Tony came in instead of Rashford, and Froster came in instead of Pope. Not sure who came in instead of Mount, but we can go here and take a look at this news. All these links will be in the description, no problem. Raheem Sterling actually was replaced by Tony. It seems like Southgate thinks Raheem Sterling is not fit enough to play. Okay, good choice there. Let's see if he's wrong or right. And he also thinks that Alexander Arnold um, is lacking confidence and lacking form. So he's been replaced by Kyle Walker and Kieran Trippier, and I do not blame him. Man, they have like Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier, Reece James. I think they're all better informed than Alexander Arnold at the moment. Um, I'm not sure why White is not there in the squad, but that was interesting. He actually has Ben Chilwell, which is very cool to have. I like Ben Chilwell and how he plays. I'm surprised he has Maguire, but yeah, let's see what happens with that. So these are the interesting stuff I found. Again, the links I'll leave them to you. Here, there's another article that asks where is Ollie Watkins and Mings, Tyrone Mings. I think Tyrone Mings has been having a good season, and obviously Ollie Watkins, in my opinion, deserves to have been selected here. If we were to, if we were to, if I were to say pick Grealish or Watkins, I'll probably pick Watkins over Grealish, even though Grealish is an amazing player. He plays for Manchester City. It's my opinion. I'll pick Watkins over Grealish, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, so this is the squad. These are the couple of players that are missing. I don't know what he's thinking about not getting Watkins and so forth. I don't know why he's got Maguire. He's been in a bad form recently. I'm not sure why he picked this guy from Crystal Palace as well. I have not seen him play. Um, but let's take a look. Maybe, maybe he has. Yeah, he has good stuff. Okay, maybe we can dig deeper into the statistics of this guy. Okay, and see why he picked him. But yeah, he picked this guy instead of Tyrone Mings. So probably he saw something good in him. So this is England and the squad that was confirmed. Let's take a look here. Okay, so I picked a couple of matches. Now you have to note, England actually played more recent games as a nation than Italy, because Italy got disqualified for the World Cup while England played in the World Cup. So England, I think in terms of team unity and recent games that they've played more recently than Italy. I think Italy, the last match they played was in November, while England, the last match was when they lost from France, right? Which was like end of December, January timeframe, right? I think end of December. So you have to bear that in mind. Here there were no friendly matches that I picked. I picked all from qualifications, Euro, and so forth. As you can see, this is the Euro match, the final Euro game against Italy. England actually played 3-4-2-1, 3-4-2-1, and Italy played 4-3-3, and they beat them in a 4-3-3 in penalties. England possessed more of the ball, in my opinion. They were a little bit unfortunate with a couple of things. They had more possession and they were dangerous, in my opinion. But Italy managed to take their chances and they scored the tying goal and they won on penalties. And it's all about taking your chances and scoring. If you don't score your chances, like how England did here, you're gonna lose. So England played like this. If you take a look at the UEFA Nations League, this is a match between England and Germany. England again played 3-4-2-1, and they played against England's 4-2-3-1. Here they managed to tie 3-3. So this formation wasn't bad for England actually. Here they were playing, I would say, a very weak team compared to England's quality in the World Cup. They were playing against Iran, and they were playing 4-2-3-1 again, right? And Iran was playing a 5-4-1. I think Iran, compared to England on paper, Iran is a weak team or weaker team than England, so England beat them 6-2. I mean, we'll see a trend here. When England plays against weak team, they tend to win with good score. When they play against tougher teams, they tend to not win or they tend to lose. Here they were playing against USA, which is not as weak as Iran, of course. Here again they played a 4-2-3-1 against USA's 4-4-2. They tied. Here they played against Wales, another I think team that's not so strong. Um, Maybe they're weak as Iran. I'm not sure. They have good players, but individuals as a team, I'm not sure if they're up there. Anyways, here they played against them in a 4-3-3 against Wales's 4-2-3-1, and they actually beat them in a 4-4 in a 4-3-3. And you see here, Raheem Sterling scored 2 goals, and Foden scored a goal. Here they played against Senegal in the World Cup in the knockouts. Here they played 4-3-3 again against Senegal's 4-2-3-1, and they managed to also beat them 3-0. Here Saka scored, and Henderson and Kane scored in this match. The final one was in the World Cup against France. France played a 4-2-3-1. It looks like there's a lot of European teams and African teams that play with a 4-2-3-1. And England again here played with 4-3-3, keeping Foden, Kane, Saka, and also Henderson. But here they have lost 2-1 to France. Senegal is not a weak team, I would say. Senegal is one of the strongest African teams. France is very strong, so it was not surprising that France was able to capitalize and win England on a hairline, in my opinion. So that was their formations. Now let's take a look at what I think will happen and who I think will play and what formations they will use. Again, same format here. So here I think they might play a 4-2-1-3, 4-2-1-3, or 4-2-4-2-3-1, depending on where you put the attackers. I think they're going to use this formation, and here I think they will put Ramsdale because he's having a great season with Arsenal. Pickford is not having that great of a season with Everton. And then I think as a left back, they will put Luke Shaw. As a right back, I think Terepia beats Kyle Walker, and he beats Reece James, in my opinion. Terepia has been playing very good as a right back. Fortunately, he scored the own goal in one of the matches. But other than that, he's been tremendously good. And then he'll put Stones and Dyer. I'm not going to pick the other two, Maguire and the other fellow. I can't recall his name now because I haven't, like, I think compared to Crystal Palace's defenders, I think Dyer or Stones will be one of them. Maguire, he's inconsistent. Sometimes he plays good, sometimes he doesn't play good, sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't play. But I think between the four, Dyer beats both, and in my opinion, Stone beats both. I would also argue that maybe Kyle Walker can play here instead of one of these, but definitely Stones is going to be there, and I think definitely Dyer will also be there. In the midfield, we're going to have, I think here, we're going to have Henderson. I go with Henderson first, but I also think he might use Bellingham here. But I choose Henderson first because of experience. And he'll have Declan Rice as well and Madison in the midfield. And as attacker wingers, We'll have Foden on the left side, Saka on the right side. Foden has been tremendous, Saka has been tremendous. And Kane as our center forward who goes back in deep to get the ball as our central forward. I think this is the formation they will use in the match, and these will be probably the players they will likely play. The other prediction, if they don't play that formation and they play a 4-3-3, the one that they've beat Senegal with and beat a couple of other teams with, then the defense will be the same plus the goalkeeping. The midfield will slightly change. And I say slightly. I would put Rice as a defender midfielder. Henderson will stay the same on the left, maybe the right, it doesn't matter. But Bellingham will replace Madison, in my opinion. And we will have the trio in the front Foden, Kane, and Saka. If they go with a 4-3-3, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you hating on Grealish." I'm not. I don't think. I don't think Grealish would start the match. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I think if we have to pick between Foden, Saka, and Grealish, sorry, Foden and Grealish on the left side in the front, probably I would go with Foden. If we have to pick between Tony and Kane, I would go with Kane all the way. If we have to pick between whoever's on the right and Saka, I will go with Saka right now. He's been tremendous. If they don't do a 4-3-3 and they go with a 3-4-3, right? Because they used to play a 3-4-3. I think the defense will change slightly. We will have Walker as one of our center backs, and in the midfield, it will change drastically, in my opinion. We would have Madison as a left midfielder who goes up and down attacking, and we will have Phillips as our central midfield instead of Rice and Bellingham. I'll still choose Henderson here just because of experience, and he's also can do a box to box midfielder. Here, I would actually on the right side, I would choose Reece James instead of a right back. I would actually like him to go as a right midfielder. He's very good in attacking, and he can link up with Saka very well. The trio is gonna remain the same. I won't change the trio at the top. And finally, this will be an interesting one to see, and I want to put it here just for maybe giggles and thought. I would probably do maybe a 4-2-4. Croatia played with this formation during the last World Cup, and they did very well. Sorry, not the last World Cup, the World Cup before last, when they were second place or lost from France. And they did very well when they played a 4-2-4. So I think with England's players, I think they can probably pull off a 4-2-4. You'll always have six defenders and you'll always have six attackers. And if the right backs attack with you, you probably have an eight attackers at one point. But the central backs will remain the same plus the goalkeeper, Dyer and Stones. And my left back here for this formation will be Chilwell instead of Luke Shaw. I think Chilwell has better pace, better defending, better attacking in such space that he'll have here than Luke Shaw, in my opinion. And also, I'll pick Reece James instead of Trippier here. Again, same reasons. He'll probably have better pace, acceleration, and space to run with the ball and attack. We will see how they do in defense, especially Reece James. Maybe there will be a lot of gaps from his side, but we will see. In the midfield, we'll have Bellingham and Phillips. The only reason why here I do not choose Henderson is because I think we need Bellingham's vision, passing, pace, agility, and fitness. And we need Phillips's aggression, anticipation, and decisions. So these two can probably complement each other in the midfield. In the attack, we'll have the same trio, Saka, Kane, and Foden, but here I would think Grealish will start over Tony, if that is the case. I will start with Grealish over Tony, in my opinion. But Tony has been having a tremendous season as well. He's been scoring, I think, 16 goals or something like this. So he's not bad. So either or are fine, in my opinion, in this formation. Kane will always come back deep so Kane can create a three in the middle, and they will be three attackers. Because we know Kane, he likes to come in deep, because we've seen him play like that for Tottenham. So these will be some of my predictions, some of my thoughts, and my opinions on some of the players that should be playing, the formation that can be used, and what players to play where for both England and Italy. And I hope to see you for the next couple of matches. I'll try to do more of these, maybe make them a little bit shorter. But as always, I'd like to thank you and see you next time.